Make sure to go to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program, and there you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver and enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus and other great prizes. Riding on board with Jeff Gordon, he moved into the top 10 by lap 5. He started 17th, and now he's up to 6th place, guys. He is hauling the mail.
Yeah, this car was really good in that final practice yesterday. He had speed and longevity with this car, so you can see he's moved up to the top side, getting a nice run. Getting ready to move into the top 5 here shortly.
The only car that's picked up more spots has been Denny Hamlin. He's picked up 16. He's 26 now. Now, look at that on the front grille. How could that affect the 48?
Well, here we got a lead change. Matt Kenseth working on Jimmy McMurray, but that piece of paper on that grille could be a problem for him if he doesn't keep an eye on that water temp.
So we're going to have our second leader and our first lead change officially as Matt Kenseth comes across the stripe.
Well, one thing that piece of paper will do for Jimmy is it'll give him some more downforce, a little less drag. It'll run good for a while.
Yeah, it will, but watch for him to go up behind Jamie McMurray here for a lap 2. See if he can turn his fan off and get up there and see if he can get that piece of paper, if they're actually aware, and I'm sure that they are aware of that. Vince?
Well, you hit the nail right on the head, DJ. That's exactly what Crew Chief Chad Knaus is telling Jimmy Johnson. And initially, they had sent the 48 spotter, Earl Barban, down to visit with the 17 spotter to let him know he was going to be coming up looking for a little help in that regard. I think the 17's got thoughts of another nature on his mind as he's going for the lead, but they've also let the 1 know about it. So there you see Jimmy getting right on the back of the 1 trying to get that debris off.
Well, that goes back to what you guys were talking about in the pre-race. They're not going to cut this guy any slack.
No, I can't believe anybody wants to help him. They don't need any help.
Well, they're running nose to tail right now, and it looks like he may have gotten it off.
It may still be there, a piece of it.
We'll have to wait till we get a good shot of it out. No, I think you're right. I think it still is there.
Still there.
Still there.
He'll have to get right next to the bumper of that car to pull that off of there. You see now, you see the turbulent air that's kind of working on that debris.
Look at this mess in the back.
If he's in this mess, he can get it off.
Well, you got the 42 right there, Juan Pablo Montoya, Regan Smith in there as well as Joey Logano, Martin Truex. And there's a bundle of cars. There's Harvick in it also.
Man,
we're going to go 4 wide. Look out. Hope Montoya knows he's out there. Oh,
he knows now.
He does now.
He's in there with a knife at a gunfight because he's got an injured race car, so not very fair for Montoya.
And did you see the move Ruderman puts on? He picks up 2 spots, goes around both those guys. Now, we did have a report that Truex brushed the wall early. That's why he's been falling back. So did Montoya, so that could be part of that problem for both of those cars.
And it won't be the last time we say that today about somebody scraping this wall. You can see they're using up a lot of racetrack, making for great racing. These guys are having to work extremely hard.
Well, and Ryan Newman has fallen back. He's back into the 21st position right now. How about Jeff Gordon and Clint Boyer? These guys both need great performances. Boyer's running 5th. Gordon is in the 6th.
Yes, we're going to have to come in. Let me know. I think it's off. See what your temps do the next 2 laps.
It's like Gordon may have had some debris also on his grill.
Well, we're checking.
I don't see it as obvious as we saw it on Jimmy's.
Yeah, for some reason, this has always been one of the worst places, too, to get wrappers out there and things like that.
It's been this track in Michigan. They're both shaped the same, and that piece of paper is still on Jimmy's grill.
And Jimmy has gotten tucked right up underneath the 1 car, and it has not.
Well, you know, he really hasn't. He's been trying to race Jamie like he just wants to spot more than he wants that debris off. It must not be running hot.
And now he figures, well, I'll just get as much air to it as I can. I don't need to be following somebody, heating this thing up even more. So he goes on by Jamie.
Yeah, we got 290, 300.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
Now Chad's got a dilemma. They're running 2nd right now.
Yeah, and he's not catching anybody real quick. He's got Matt Kenseth out there, and that's going to be a pretty tall order to try to catch him to get that debris off. He may end up having to let Jamie back by.
We shot up there in 3 and 4 against the wall.
Don't know what they were referring to as far
good
as up
idea.
against the wall.
Now, that's how close he needs to be right there.
That would do it.
Biffle on Mark Martin's bumper.
And Biffle and Martin, that's a battle for 8th. In fact, 7th is Casey Kane. Let's get an update, Dave.
Biffle's back to 9th currently, guys, right now. He started 7th, so as Kane almost loses it in front of him, Biffle will go to the inside. I talked to Biffle's crew chief this morning. What indication could Greg give you verbally that you're going to have a good day? And they basically said if he really complains a lot about the race car, listen to how he was talking around lap 5. If he says we're in trouble, we'll especially have a good day. Right after that radio, Greg said, we're in trouble. We'll keep our eye on it. Greg thinks he's got a problem. thinks they might be all right today.
Well, and you got to chuckle as we go 3 wide, because we heard that last week at Kansas and he went on to win the race. Boy, Ruderman really charging hard here, trying to get underneath, and does the 20 of Joey Logano.
Yeah, Ruderman's had a good car all weekend. Just got in a bad qualifying effort was his problem there. But you can see passed 2 at one time.
Started 23rd. You move him up to the 16th position. And still trying to move forward even more. Kevin Harvick right there, along with the 14 of Tony Stewart. That is a battle for 14th on the track.
See Kevin Harvick really searching around on the racetrack. You see him up towards the middle top part of the racetrack, go around some cars. Now he's got a little clean air. He's gone back to the bottom. Watch Tony Stewart. He's right there kind of in the middle of the racetrack.
Now remember, yesterday in the nationwide race, Harvick through 3 and 4 was constantly at least in the middle of the track, sometimes on the high side. Here he was there down low.
He might not have his car exactly where he wants it for that part of the racetrack, and if he doesn't, there's no sense in taking a chance up there. You can see now he's moving back. He just probably went down there to try it a lap or two to see exactly what he had, if he could pick up a little bit of time while he didn't have anybody right on his bumper or right in front of him.
Down that very rough backstretch, we saw it bounce a number of cars around yesterday, and it's going to do the same today.
Yeah, you can see how he stretched it out there for on Stewart running that higher line.
Well, it gives you an idea how far back they are from race leader Matt Kenseth, a 3-time winner here. But his 3 wins, he always started well outside the top 20. Today, Kenseth out in front. And can he take the win? Got a long way to go. Back here at the Pepsi Max 400 at California, you're looking at our race leader, and that is Matt Kenseth. He has led a total now of 13 laps. And fans, don't forget, you can win a lot of great prizes during today's race. Just text the word MAX400 to 73774 for your chance to win one of 400 prizes in the 400 miles run today here at California. In second place, about 9/10 of a second back of that race leader, is Jimmy Johnson. Temperature got up to 290 degrees. And Vince, what's the latest you're hearing?
Well, they're still concerned with the debris on the front end of that 48 car. They're going to try to suck up to the 09 and get it knocked off there. Here's the radio communication between Jimmy and Chad Canals.
If it gets any hotter, bud, we're probably going to have to pit here. If you want to fall back here, if it gets above 300 and try to get behind that one car again to try to get it off, we can.
Let's actually come back to 270 now that I got by the one.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly good operating temperature there.
Well, there you see Johnson behind that 09 of Bobby Labonte as they came down the backstretch, rubbing right up on the back end there, trying to get that debris off. And just as Jimmy cut down left, Chad told him, no, stay back on it. And you saw Jimmy move back up top before he eventually made that pass. The debris, definitely a bit of concern for Chad Canals, the crew chief, as the temperature continues to rise on that 48.
It looked like he just moved over to the right. I think there's still a piece on there. I think it's better than it was. And he might need to try that again.
Well, it's definitely at least compressed.
Yeah, it looks smaller, and it's over to the other side.
So I guess they'll keep monitoring the situation, but right now he is certainly not contemplating coming in. As
well, you hear those real high temperatures, and they run a real high pressure system on these cooling systems that will allow that boiling point to get a lot higher than your normal street car, where you run about 15 pounds of pressure. These cars, they'll run up to 3 times that much. So, you know, they know what they're comfortable with, and like Chad said, 300 is probably their upper limit.
Let's go back and check in on the battle for 9th position. As you can see, we got Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Whole bunch of guys in that mix. There's Casey. They're going around Kevin Conway. He is a lap down. So is Blaney, Quapple, Bobby Labonte. Jason Leffler and Landon Castle have parked it behind the wall. They're the first two to go to the garage. Kyle right now still holding station in that 9th position. But you can see he's got a lot of track in front of him. How about if we check in on Elliott Sadler and Mark Martin? They're duking it out for 4th place. Remember when Sadler was falling back?
Yeah, but he's been able to stay up there. He made his way back forward here into the top 5, having a great run today. Elliott was pretty excited about his chances. A newer car for them, really good engine. He was excited. Now, another guy that has to be excited about finally getting up in the top 5, Mark Martin, who's had a struggle most of the year.
Finished 14th last week. Whoa, a wiggle there for Mark. Let's get an update, Dave.
And as he drives toward the front after starting 11th, it's a good run to the front of him. And remember, these are guys that are not in the chase. Talking to Alan Gustafson this morning, our goal really to win. We'll gamble if we have to, but driving to the front like this, they may not need to gamble much.
And while you finish your report, we'll also report that Bobby Labonte has gone behind the wall, and now Joe Nemechek as this side-by-side action continues. You know, 5 of the drivers currently in the top 10 have picked up at least 6 spots since the start of the race. Johnson Boyer, Martin Gordon, and Kyle Busch. And there is Jeff, although once he got to that 6th spot, he sort of has been stuck there.
He's still running really good. He had Clint Boyer he had to deal with, and Clint's got an even better car than Jeff Gordon right now. He's driven up to 3rd. But Gordon's still going forward.
Another guy you see at the top of your screen, Denny Hamlin. He has moved up to the 20th position. He's now picked up 22 spots in his quest to rebound from the transmission change that forced him to start in the rear of this field. Gordon side by side right now with Sadler. This is for the spot, the 5th position on track, and he tucks back in.
Yeah, Ellie's been running pretty much the middle top side of the racetrack. That makes it more difficult for somebody to get by him on the inside.
Well, our race leader is Matt Kenseth. 2nd place, Jimmy Johnson. 7 of the last 9 races here at Auto Club, well, they've been won by Johnson 4, and Kenseth has 3 of them.